Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you back to Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew, where we don't have any talky bits to start today, but we do have a long mission ahead of us, so it's probably just as well.
Where to, Navigator?
Where to, Marley, is Angler's Grave. We've got the Graveyard Haunt mission for a Black Pearl.
It appears the fire thralls are disturbing the dead at Angler's Grave.
That's rude.
Now why would they do that? A special prize, perhaps?
Aye, a black pearl lies buried there. I recently picked up on it, and so did they.
How do we get to it before they do?
We need someone to tell us the right grave.
We could
ask
just shank
Lana,
everyone.
the graveyard keeper.
Taken in for questioning, was she?
Her soul carries the scent of a black pearl. Free her, and the location of the pearl could be ours. There is another, a certain Richard, who also bears the mark of the pearl's presence. It seems he's actually trying to tell the Inquisition where to find the pearl, but his words are falling on deaf ears. Listen in quietly, and their arrogance could be your bargain. Whichever one we choose, our path will lead to the graveyard. Now, choose our landing, Navigator.
I feel like I'd rather go straight to the source and speak to the Graveyard Keeper. Also, she needs to be freed, whereas he's just around and about, so let's have a think. Have we started at Upper Slums before? I can't remember where we came in last time. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Angler's Jaws might be easier than Upper Slums to get to where we're going. It's certainly more iconic a location, one would think. But then we've got to splosh our way across a beach, and I'm not a big fan of doing that. I mean, maybe we don't have to. Maybe we could do a bit of swimming. Yeah, we're going to have to start here at some point. And who's starting here? Well, I believe today's team is going to not consist of any of our quick killers. We're going to have Yuki, Aethir, and Mr. Mercury. And that will take us up to another upgrade point. Okay, so some of our team can swim, but Aethir cannot. All of our team can climb. That's good. And they're all crouching body carriers. Not that Yuki needs to worry about that too much, because she just turns people into logs. So we're going to come in over here.
This is fun.
And then we've got two ways of getting onto the beach. It is daytime, so we do need to watch out for that
Oh, that's easy.
Commissarius. And also that Acolyte, perhaps. Although he can't see that commie. Who's watching that commie right now? No one, really. So maybe when that commie comes back, we can just sidle up and give him a good shanking. How far can you see?
Wake
Not
up,
far enough.
Katana-san. Slice the back, stab the neck.
Good. She's done it. Now, that guy does see around and about. We can't really lure him with footsteps because there's nowhere to hide. But we could sneak on up top, perhaps.
Can't catch
Oops.
me.
Is that?
Oops.
Well, there shouldn't be footprints here. What?
That was clumsy.
Thanks for helping.
But it's worked out.
Blood and snow.
Good. This time let's actually save it before
Memory captured.
anything else happens. So who saw us up there? Was it you? It was, wasn't it? You terrible wretch. We've got two people watching that Custodes, but that's probably fine. I mean, if we get John up there, then maybe he stands a chance at anchoring down and then anchoring back up. So maybe that works out for us. Yep, stop there a sec, John.
You picked the right bone.
Good, you got up. Now,
At your service.
Our life.
no one sees us doing that. Aha! but there was another guy watching on. I thought that was too easy.
Try again.
Now, is that guy ever going to move? I don't think so. Is there anywhere we can climb up behind here? Doesn't look like it. You can climb up over there though, so maybe
To be one
John
with the
instead pops up there,
I hope that
and
memory
then
serves us
when
right.
that commie's not looking, that's when we go. Good.
That's what we do.
Now, can we take this guy out
Winners.
without anyone noticing?
Always a play.
Yes.
Gracious, you're heavy. The turtles would like that.
And now with that done, we should now be able to clear out this tear.
When in doubt,
So we'll do another bit of anchoring.
on with the fish.
Good. This may actually help us get to where we need to be as well. Let's put John back in a bush before anyone notices. Because we could work our way up here,
Blasted
but
steel
if we can
bars.
work our way down from the
Raise
top,
or come-
that might be more beneficial for us, just because
Memory worth capturing.
they won't be expecting it. Now, is anyone going to notice this? No, good. This mission could be John's time to shine, you know. That commie doesn't even notice that acolyte, so
Ooh, exciting.
maybe we bring the other two. Oops, not you,
Pirate's
John.
delight.
Let's
Sure, I
get
pressed
moving,
2.
eh?
So
apparently
many
I didn't.
tricks.
Let's see what's out there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching that acolyte.
Yes, here.
And is
Remember
he?
the twilight
Yeah, he's out of range of that
fast
commissariat,
and
even.
sharp. Did you see that, Kuma?
Good. But that commie is watching that one. So is there any way of taking down those two simultaneously? Well, we'd have to take out that acolyte first. So maybe this is all something we worry about in a bit. Although, we are probably going around this way, aren't we, to get to the graveyard.
Swift souls.
So let's do a bit of
Strike
swift
fast.
killing with Yuki.
That was the
Nothing personal.
And then scuttle away again.
Let's do it, Kuma.
Because that'll save us time down the line.
Yes.
So Lady with her bush magic would be nice, but we haven't got that. Alright, how far do you see?
I can do that.
Not terribly far.
I am no sinner.
So can Yuki just take you out? Without anyone's knowledge? Yes.
The
Good.
Corsair is hunting.
This is all saving us time later, I feel. Now, what are you up to, John? You can climb up there and up there, but then you'll be spotted by that commie. But if we do come up here, then what's the plan?
Let's capture this moment in time, in case our plan fails. Affirmative.
Okay, he spots us as soon as we try and come up that ladder.
Another round?
Now,
Ah, sure as the time.
yeah, we can't seem to throw Sir Reginald up there either.
The tides are changing, yet our memories stay clean.
So,
Affirmative.
I guess if we
Sir Reginald.
drop in here, can we drop out
Nobody
there?
will
Is that...
find me here. Depths of the
Yeah, that's too high apparently. So who else could make it up here without issue?
Affirmative.
I mean, we could do that, actually. That works. Can we stand on that ladder? No, we get spotted by that acolyte. So he's in a safe spot there, but it doesn't really help us.
Power lights.
And there's nowhere else we can really spring up with him. So maybe he just stays there for a moment. Who else we got on the team? We got Afia.
Let's get moving, eh?
She can get height. 'Cause she can blink. That guy's not looking. That guy is. Is it possible for John to throw Sir Reginald up there? Doesn't look like it. It looks like Sir Reginald, much like the anchor ability, only works on the same level.
Let's get moving, eh? Now we're getting somewhere.
Is that?
Yeah, that's not going to work without setting alarms off, unfortunately.
A memory unleashed.
Now, I don't think we've got time to distract this guy and then get John up the ladder
Well.
without being noticed by that guy. Yeah. Now, a fear.
Straight to the point.
Get in a bush. It might be a job for Yuki.
The Corsair is
'Cause
ready.
Kuma is a valuable asset, I feel, for this.
Sneaky dead.
I'm probably just making things difficult by
This is
coming in
fine.
from this direction. But hey ho, this is the plan that I'm going with for now. So, he sees
Leave
up
it
to
to me.
about there.
Follow the little ones.
So she can't quite hit that guy with Kuma Parade. Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is just
Rise out of me. I
not
don't make
gonna work.
acolyte mistakes.
What have we got up there? A dev. Now, whereabouts can we stand to get this acolyte's attention?
I'll send them your way.
Oh, we can get him.
Watch me, Sensei.
Okay, so
Return.
if that's the
I can do
case,
that.
then we could set a trap down here,
Spider's
perhaps.
thread.
And then if we time it right, we should be able to distract this guy,
Yes.
lure him to
Good
where
one.
Yuki is.
Fine. Let's do it, Kuma. Look, Kuma, we're back. This is fun.
Let's see.
Get ready, Kuma.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to want to do it now. Wait a minute. Aethea can just blink, can't she? She doesn't need a target.
Straight to the point.
Purge the undead.
Yeah. But she can't seem to blink up to that bit, which is unfortunate. If she could blink up behind that guy, that might help.
What's in it for me? Well, well.
Is that?
But yeah, the angles just aren't allowing her to blink to any of these places that I want to be.
We can do it.
So, she can grand blink up and about the place. But then, what does getting up there achieve for us? It allows us to kill that commie, I guess.
No second thoughts, eh? Unshackle.
It looks like it should almost work, blinking up there, but it doesn't quite.
Aye. From here to there.
Yeah, there's just nowhere up there where it's allowing me to blink up that height. So it'd have to be a grand blink, which
Dizzy.
sucks. We're going to have to do something though, because we're just wasting time trying the same thing over and over that's just not working.
Again.
So maybe Yuki can,
Let's do it.
if she can
Kuma.
get up to here, then
Get ready,
yeah.
Kuma. Swift souls.
Guides me this way.
Yeah, that might work. You come down here, friend. So it was just a case of execution. The plan was acceptable. It was the execution that didn't quite pay off. But now it has. Now, the next
Yes.
problem
A good memory.
is that a fierce blink will cause such a loud radius of attack
What do we
that
have here?
she can't take out that guy without people noticing. But maybe we can get around that as well.
My soul is razor
Let's
sharp.
see. So she can come up here. From here, can she time freeze that guy? She can. Maybe that gives us enough time to get up the
Let's
ladder
remember
with
this
John.
point.
So, John, run up the ladder.
Let's get
A
moving.
fear, distract that guy. And then let's see. See if this is going to work.
A memory capture.
Better old than sorry.
Okay, John has just blatantly not... Yeah. That worked somehow, but John didn't run up the ladder as I'd asked him to. So... Ah, that's also a noisy ability. Okay. But it does also hide the bod, so maybe it's not too bad. We'll just wait till one of those commies is out of range.
Another sunken soul.
Oh, wait, of course, it's a commie. It doesn't move. Bloody hell.
My power.
But it does look around. So maybe we don't want to use that ability on this commie.
Yes, here.
I like these
Ooh,
odds.
exciting.
Let's get the rest of the crew up.
The Twilight
John
Wars.
can throw a distracting fish to turn this commie around. At least for a second. And then he can scoot them up and probably pop them in this bush
Him then.
without that acolyte noticing. Good.
Out of sight.
A memory worth
And
capturing.
now that he's done
Messenger, hear your
that,
bidding.
there are still 2 acolytes over here.
That's bone drenching.
But we can do a bit of that. And then hopefully drag the body away.
Down.
Almost made it. Okay, so if we were just stood closer
Memory steak leave.
when we launched the
I'll
attack.
step on a shell or two. Come, Sir Reginald. A good crushing.
That should do it.
Sound.
That's going to slow me down. A pirate's
Good.
delight.
Another bot down. And then,
Ah, that was a good memory. To be one with the sea.
is that guy...
Nothing.
Yeah, he's out of range of that commie. Good. Okay,
For the turtles. Affirmative.
Seems like no one received your message.
No hard. Goodness gracious.
cool. So that's that section cleared out. Without too much... Well, I was going to say without too much difficulty, but obviously with a lot of difficulty. But
A memory worth capturing.
it's cleared out and everything else should be easier from here on out.
Ready, Kuma? Fast and sharp.
Now,
Can you hear the waves singing?
that guy's not really looking at
My
us.
power light. Nobody will find me here.
Yuki here. Time for sword. Blasted.
So let's see how this works. Right, so John stays underground when he
Can't catch me.
anchor attacks a proggy and they detect him. That's good to know.
A memory.
Let's see, who's watching you? Anyone?
It's an adventure. Oh, so sharp.
No.
Empty threats mean nothing to me. I've seen craft
Slice the
more
back.
intimidating than you.
Corsair is hunting.
Okay, an acolyte was coming in to watch, but we got away with that. Oh wait, we've got a trap here. Who's that going to fall on? Just that one guy? Good. Just 'cause.
Swift souls. Good idea, Marley-san. Demon's tooth. Nothing personal.
And there goes another. And we could probably just bounce our way down there now. But that commie is overlooking a large-ish area. So do we want to take care of them? Well, we can certainly move over here. We could drop a little trap if we
It needs
wanted
be
to.
remembered. Wake up, little trap.
And then
They'll come
can
to
we
This is fun.
take care of that guy?
Why don't I walk this way?
Not like that. We need to be more careful.
Oh, I remember this.
Are you on the move, Acolyte? Maybe not.
Source of the report.
Difficult to say.
Maybe they don't
We
need to be.
definitely should have tortured him a little bit just to make sure.
No. Although that's below where we want to be. I can't just drop off there, it seems, which is unfortunate.
Seems
Because if we go down there, then we'd have to...
Do you remember?
Well, it's not the end of the world.
What was his name again?
Sneaky dead.
We can climb
Have you
down
seen anything
here,
suspicious as yet?
and then... Can we climb up there without that acolyte?
Aye.
Without that commie really noticing?
Is that?
Precious maiden.
No, because there's a bell guard watching. Okay.
Remember,
So maybe instead of overcomplicating this, we just go straight for the key? Because you're not even watching from far
no
enough
second thoughts,
range.
eh? Seems like no one received your message.
Ah,
The maiden's pirate.
how did that guy see us when we're on a roof?
do not give in.
At your service.
I have no intention of giving in, Marley. I'm just
Straight to the
surprised that we
point.
were spotted there.
Time is on our side.
Now, that acolyte's got a watching brief over a lot of this area.
Through the below. Seems like no one received your message. My body thinks.
Will not get a rise
But
out of me.
let's see.
I don't make
Is that a bush that we can climb into there? Yeah. So we can probably take out this commie when they come back.
A blade in the dark.
Blasted.
Don't let the flame heave. Oh.
Grave's more comfortable than this cage.
Good. And then,
Interesting choice.
let's see. Who's watching that acolyte? Anyone? Another acolyte? Okay.
Can you hear the waves sing?
So we could really use Yuki back over here, I think.
Once
So
our
you're being
bloodlust
watched by
guards
that
here,
guy.
Your soul will be bent into
So that guy needs to be taken out.
I'm coming, sonny.
Yeah.
Clean this place some time.
Have you seen anything suspicious as
Now, we can't quite get into the bush over there yet.
Why don't you go ahead and
let's
fetch
see.
him then?
and leave my prize catch out of sight. I've sent a messenger. He'll do the
Call.
bidding.
Yeah, there we go. We can get into a bush. That's good. They're all watching one another,
I'm certain
which is a pain.
that the reports of
But where is that acolyte watching when he's in conversation? Does his viewpoint change?
Do you remember?
It still keeps the custodians in, unfortunately. Okay. So we're going to have to distract people and move them about. And this isn't a great team for that, all told. Okay, I've got a plan.
Come, Kuma.
Part of town is fun.
Let's see.
Let's do it, Kuma.
Yeah, drop in there. Good girl. Now,
Seems like no one received
Kuma, listen.
let's put
Are
Kuma
you getting scared?
over there.
There.
You will not get a rise out of me. I
Pull them
don't
to you.
make acolyte
And then
mistakes.
we'll do Kuma there. We will
Old and sorry.
distract that guy with Sir Reginald. And then whilst we're doing all
Let's
of that,
capture this moment in time.
let's get a fear
Opportunity
Plan
calls.
fails.
out of her
Always move
bush.
forward.
And from there, perhaps, she can distract
Station and rip it out at its root.
that guy. So, we're just going to go straight for the
This memory is out.
my eyes open.
I like it already.
commissary.
That's not the end, eh?
Okay, that guy wasn't distracted straight away by
Unleash.
Kuma, which is annoying. So we want to do Q first,
Ah, yes. A nice little
and then he's not turning around fast enough.
Remember,
My eyes open.
Why don't I walk this way?
Yeah, why don't you? And then,
I'll take that.
yeah, he doesn't get distracted by Kuma for long enough, it seems.
failure is irrelevant.
So many tricks.
Maybe it's because Kuma's not in the right place.
Fast.
Well, now.
Your turn, Kuma.
Yeah, stand there, Kuma. Let's see how that plays out.
Yes. A good memory.
Blasted steel bars. I've dug graves more
What's in it
comfortable
for
than
me?
this cage.
If you don't start talking,
Well, well.
dig your own.
Little death. I'll take that then.
Yeah, he just doesn't stay distracted long enough. So why is Kuma not distracting him?
Yes. Let's try again.
Don't I
Blasted
walk
steel
this way?
bars. I've dug graves more comfortable
Okay.
than this
Minor
cage.
aberration.
If you
Yeah.
don't start talking, you'll
Is
have
it just
to dig
because
your own.
he only walks over to Kuma? Maybe I've just misunderstood how Kuma works. Maybe if we
Help
fire
us.
Kuma up there.
Remember the Twilight Corsair.
Now.
Tanuki Parade.
Okay, so let's try that again.
It wants to be remembered.
Never look back.
Yep, you turn around.
Guides me this way.
Consider it done. Little
And then-
death bring. This should come in handy.
Let me return to my
Good.
Heavy.
Ah, piss. It might have worked. Well, it would have worked,
Ooh, dizzy.
but it didn't work.
Do you remember?
The flame guides me this way.
Straight to the point. Impossible. I'll take that, thank you.
Not wandering anymore.
Let's get you somewhere else.
There we go. It worked. It was fiddly as all heck, but it worked. What a stupid plan
a
this
nice
was.
bauble.
No.
Have you seen anything suspicious as yet?
Just these shots.
Now, we kind of need to do the same again.
Aye.
So, yeah, you stay there, Aethir. Yuki.
Sharks and birds.
You again send that guy to look at Kuma. And Aethir, you distract that guy.
Let's capture
So-
this moment in case our plan
A
fails.
nice little stroll.
I like these odds. That's not in my power.
Oh no, I must
Good.
resume my task. This whole part of town's foul.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Right, so she's going to sneak around that side of that cage. Which is good, I guess. Although this acolyte still living is a pain. Maybe I should have just killed that acolyte. But then where? I guess Yuki could have dropped him up there somewhere. Yeah, she should have just set up a trap there. But she hasn't,
Hold it
so
right there.
Ready, Kuma?
I guess we'll just
Kuma
go
Parade.
like that again.
The flame
Let's
guides
get
me
moving,
this
eh?
way.
And then,
I like it already.
Oh,
yeah, let's chat to Yolanda.
Thank you, lost soul. Don't see many of you in these parts anymore. Now I can guess why you're here. You're after the Black Pearl, eh? Have it then. I'll mark the place where it's buried on your map. Just get it out of my yard before the Inquisition finds it, eh?
Thanks, Yolanda. We will do our best.
Time is on our side.
Now, yeah, I can't quite blink up there with
Blink.
fear. But we can blink into that bush. Good.
I'll be there soon.
So now we just got to get these two out of dodge. Guess we're heading over to the graveyard at this point. Should probably check the map, you know. See what's what.
Working the graves here must be quite something.
I
There we go.
imagine it's quite energizing. There are certainly enough souls around.
Always good to have company on the job, eh?
Now,
The turtles would like that.
yeah, we're going to come in via the route we've already started to infiltrate. Hopefully that'll make things quicker and easier for us.
Sure as the tides. You picked the right bone.
We haven't fully infiltrated it yet, but that's fine.
It's good to be remembered.
Now, who's watching you? I mean, there's this guy sneaking up here.
Yuki here. Wake up, Katana-san.
Okay, you're being watched by a Eudex. Is this where we came in before?
Excited
It might
to
be.
get I'll step on a shell or two.
Now, is that going to lead to that guy getting...
Did you see that?
Yeah, he's going to spot some...
They're ordained.
Strike fast. Fast and sharp.
Yeah,
Good sword.
good. The old footprint trap takes out another
Wants to be
goon.
remembered.
Now, that Udex is going to be a bother, probably. We do know how to deal with them, because we've done it before. But do we remember how to deal with them? And did we have the same crew? Well, we didn't have the same crew, because we've got John now. But maybe that helps us infiltrate the area a bit better.
Let's go, Sir Reginald.
Because he can just
My power.
do a bit of
Depths.
teleporting across there. Ah, piss. He could have made it up there,
The Twilight Corsair.
but I didn't realise that Acolyte... I mean, they don't appear to be moving their head.
What do we have here?
That's my excuse for that one. Okay, now I can see it. They are clearly moving their head.
To be one with the seas and depths of released.
So we're up here.
A little ripple is all it takes.
Glorious song.
Affirmative.
Yes, it is a curious sound, isn't it? Nothing for you to worry about, though.
I'm coming, Sir Reginald.
And then... that allows us over to here. And then I guess we could just pull this guy into the blow.
Let's remember this one. No one returns from the dead.
Good.
Cross the sea. I'll be fast. Good idea,
Yeah.
Mama-san.
Yuki works her way up.
It's an adventure. I am no samurai. Slice the back, stab
That
the
guy
neck.
gets logged. So yeah, sneaking around this way might not make it much easier to get in, because there's no way up into the graveyard from over here. There's no handy vines to climb. But we'll get in one way or the other.
That's a good trick.
We could cross that bridge. But that doesn't really help, so... yeah, perhaps this hasn't helped us at all. Perhaps it has, I'm not sure. Let's see where that commissarius goes. Walks up to the end of the bridge. Walks across to there.
Leave it to me. Wake up, little trap. Yes.
So
sir.
that should take him out. The question is that a good thing? Or does someone spot him?
Don't break the spider's thread.
No, no one spots him. Good. So this bridge is now ours.
Yes. A good memory.
Does that help? I feel like that's too big of a jump to get down to that acolyte. And yeah, it seems like it is. But we can drop down that ladder. And then potentially shank that commie whilst that guy is distracted.
Sneaky dead.
Opportunity calls.
Pure dead brilliant.
Can we get everyone over here without me having to micromanage their route? Okay, you can't quite distract that guy with the fish. We can also use Aethir's Grand Blink at this point, because we've not used it yet. And it will give us ingress into this area. Where would we want to use it? Possibly on that
flag.
Udex.
Older than usual.
Who's watching you? Most of the time the answer might be no one.
My sword
So yeah, maybe we
razor
just
sharp.
bring Aethir back this way after all.
I like these odds.
Because we've only got one shot with the Grand Blink, but we may as well use the damn thing.
I
I don't think there's a height radius
An
on it.
anchor in the sea.
Marley Gunn.
Okay, so we need to be careful of that commie.
A memory unleashed.
Unless we take out the commie with it.
Nothing.
The pearl
Don't let the flame get you.
cannot be
No,
found.
there we go. Udex down. Now, you aren't going to see us up here?
Always move forward. Welcome to the other side.
So you can go down too. Good. Yeah, we'll take that. I think that was a good
moment to
use of our ability. And now that we're behind them all, that could make life a lot easier. So where's this patrol go? Yeah, they roam about pretty comfortably.
I'll be there soon.
But then they look away.
Death's not the end, eh?
But then that acolyte spots us. Okay. Now, it is only that guy who is watching these two.
I'm feeling
So,
Strange noise. Did you see that, Kuma?
good. That did work.
Fast and
Now
sharp.
that guard has no idea where his friend's gone. And maybe John can just take out the other one. No. Too many watchers.
Let's try again.
Very well.
Oh,
Now,
a memory.
where can you see? Oh, you can see over there. I wasn't expecting you to be able to see anything because you're facing that wall, and that usually means that we're alright.
Right, coming.
Well, no.
Okay, we're in. Good. So now let's try the next part of the plan, which is...
Come back.
Yeah. Kuma, you come back from wherever the heck you were hiding. And now you go over there
I'll
instead.
send them your way.
Why don't I walk this way?
Why don't you walk that way? Okay, so that's not going to work because
Ooh,
this
dizzy.
guy sees far too far.
The Corsair is hunting. Kuma, to me, Kuma. Who's a good to know? Over there.
But it might work if we get rid of that guy instead.
Let's remember.
And also if this commie's not wandering around.
Follow the little ones. Can't catch me.
Ah, yes. A nice little stroll.
Oh, fuck off.
Restored.
Tanuki parade.
Ah, yes.
Watch me, Sensei.
A nice little stroll.
Have they got enough for
Wandering
each?
anymore?
No.
Leave it to me. You there.
Yeah, let's try moving Kuma there. I feel like this, again, is a plan that could work,
Get ready,
but
Kuma.
it's very
I'll
fiddly.
walk this way. Oh no.
Ah,
Must resume
just
my
not
task.
quite. Although maybe the plan works with a slight
I can do
tweak.
that. Call them to you.
The flame guides me
Yeah.
this way.
Maybe the plan works if they move... Yeah, they don't quite move out of range of that other guy. That's the trouble. So this plan ain't going to work. We need a better plan.
Yes, here, right, coming.
Yeah, you come over here instead, Ukes. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't just try it over here, to be
Always
honest.
works.
Please.
Don't back to me.
Because this
You won't forget this,
should
yes?
work.
I will tell the
Sneaky dead.
Purge your soul. Now sod off. Ah,
Vile
yes.
noise.
A nice
No,
little
I
stroll.
won't leave my post.
Is that?
Right, so that works.
Nasty surprise.
And then, yeah, that guy goes down. Good. Okay, so we were just using the wrong sort of spot
Remember the
for that
Twilight
to
Corsair.
be pulled off.
I'll be fast.
But now we've got it.
Leave us alone.
Now. So how do we get that guy?
Let's go.
I guess this is just a case of
Come, Kuma. Over there.
timing it properly so that the commie's not watching.
Swift souls. Kuma parade.
Will this work?
Flame guides me this way.
Don't stay in the spot.
Yeah, that does work.
Can't
Good.
catch me.
Now, how do we get
Showing
rid
the
of this
ball.
commissarius, though? There's no one else really around here, is there? So once he's out of range of that bell guard, might just be able to sneak on
Oh,
in and
that's
shank
easy.
him.
Thanks for helping. Blood and snow.
Good.
That's a good trick.
Okay, so The Commissarius then, how do we deal with it?
I like this one.
Because they are up there. We can't climb up here anywhere, so the only way up is via that ladder.
It's an adventure.
Now, luckily, we've got an infiltrator on the team in John.
Have released me. The turtles would like
Okay.
that.
But then he can't just straight up infiltrate because there's another acolyte in the way.
Come,
Put Kuma
meet
here.
there.
Then John can anchor any guards that hit that spot. But in order to do that, we need Yuki to be able to get into position to distract
I
that guy.
never forget.
Ah, thank you, Noob. Noob has been sat on my lap this entire time, and he's a heavy boy. So that has been distressing, to say the least. That's a bit mean. He's a lovely boy.
Mr.
John.
Mercury, at the ready. Deaths have released me.
Can you get into those bushes when that Commissarius
That's what we do.
turns away? You can.
The death is gone. Gurgling.
And then I
Please
think,
some time.
yeah,
Power lies.
oh, we didn't actually need you to sneak away again because that guy just doesn't come. Good.
To be one with this. Food
Oh, that was a dev.
apple.
Even better. Now, we could
You
drop
picked
you
the
back
right
down
boy.
here. And
Memory
then,
worth capturing.
just for the lols. Nope, we can't take that guy out. Okay.
Glad to be
It's hard to tell sometimes whether or not these guys are going to be looking or not, because sometimes they're working
Is it
on
a
stuff and their view
Can't catch
radius
me.
gets small. I mean, that's an issue that you resolve by
Stop
just
fast.
checking their view radius before you attack.
The
But
Corsair
still.
strikes again.
Okay, so we can take these two out without too much trouble. We don't even need to get fancy and go into the below.
Interesting choice.
We just attack.
You picked me. Another. That's going to slow me down.
Ooh, exciting.
And now we've got a way in.
Swift souls. Oh, so sharp. Good sword. Oh, that's easy.
And then Yuki just cleans up these guys. Because she can, really. Now,
It's an
she can also do a trap.
At your service.
Spider's thread. Tanuki parade.
Now, can we?
Curious workings of the grand design.
Follow the little one.
Yeah,
The Corsair
we can.
is hunting.
Nice little stroll.
Yes, nice little stroll. That's another bob down.
Yes, good trap.
So, Kindred, Proggy, Aethea ready to spring into action when we need her. That acolyte, though, was watching that bell guard. So how do we deal with that guy? Because that bell guard is also watching that acolyte. And then we got a Kindred over there who's kind of watching stuff. Yeah, you set a trap there, please, check. And then we'll try and sneak you up to the point where we can get in
Let's go.
and deal with that guy.
Gracious maiden.
Might require a bit of time. Will this work? Will setting the
Spider's
trap
thread.
here
Right,
work?
come on.
And then,
Call them to you.
can we get away with that?
Flame guides me this way.
No, because that's kind of not subtle.
Remember,
But it might work, you know. Just a bit better than what we just did. And that guy looks over there. Good.
Tanuki parade.
Why don't I walk this way?
And then we sneak over here, and then
Is that?
yeah, we just about get away with
Corsair
that.
is hunting.
And then hopefully he dies before anyone comes back over. Good. Right, so this patrol shouldn't be
Where to
too
look?
hard. we just get John to attack that guy, and we get Yuki to attack that guy. And then we just wait for them to move on slightly.
Nothing personal.
Back into the bush, good. So we're running out of peeps.
This one is special.
And there's nobody now really watching
What's in it for me?
that commie, so Fear can get back in the action.
We're all cutthroats here.
You remind me of Mordecai! He was vicious too.
Cool.
I
Now,
must keep at it. The acolytes,
who is watching
they look
who
up to me.
at this point? You're the target now. Surely. You've got to be the target now.
Remember.
So if we stay roughly away from the proggy... Oh, okay, the proggy's got longer range than I thought. But that works.
Oh, I remember this.
It'd be nice to be able to mark both the guards at once, but this should work. There we go.
I'll be fast.
Okay. Just a bit more care than we used, and we're there.
Yes.
Yeah,
good
this
work.
works. Into the bush. This guy strolls over,
Ready to strike.
goes down.
Light and snow.
Now, is anyone going to notice if we take out the proggy at this point? What's your view like? Not good enough.
Ooh, exciting.
It burns!
The Corsair strikes again.
Yep, again we strike. And again everything goes down. Now, can we get you two into a bush without that guy noticing? I think so.
Oh, a memory.
Opportunity calls.
Good.
I like it already.
Park you both here. Yuki,
Here?
please attack and kill that kindred. Fear, please blink to that guy and kill him. John. Where's John? There he is.
Affirmative.
Please stroll over here. And then
go
into
on
the
that
deep
for
with
a
you.
bit.
Now, John, please take out that guy. Good.
On with the fight.
Heavy.
So that's everyone down, and now the entire crew can head over to where we need to be.
Mr.
John,
Mercury,
would you like to take the
ready?
pearl?
Ah, that's bone drenching.
That is indeed the Black Pearl.
Good.
Now, bring it back on deck.
And then bringing it back on deck should be easy because we've already cleared out a tear. So how do we get back to where we were without triggering a bunch of alarms and whatnot? Well done, everyone.
Stay behind.
I feel that wasn't really a long mission. We just made it long. I just made it long by being bloody difficult. But we're nearly halfway there on Debs, which is good to know. 2 missions complete on this island so far. Finish the mission without Toya or Quentin in your team. That's a curious little badge, but we managed it. And we didn't raise any alarms. Good stuff. Yuki's now done 5 missions, 5 islands, Johnston 2. So yeah, the time that took was born entirely of my stubbornness and trying to execute the same plan over and over again. There was a balls up getting the key where I could have lured one guy to a quiet spot and killed him, instead of just trying to do the old triple distraction play. But I made it work in the end. And then the graveyard area was not terribly problematic, all told. We worked our way around, got everything done. I don't feel that this would have been much easier with a very quick killer on the team like Toya or Salady. So, yeah. Job well done. 27 kills for Yuki, but I'm saying the MVP of that mission was John, I think. His infiltration abilities with the anchor are super cool. And I really enjoyed using him to pop up and around. And, yeah, John number 1.
Hey, Marley. I have something to discuss with you. Can we talk?
At your leisure, Navigator.
Yeah. So, We want to talk to Marley. We could also talk to Quentin,
Now
though.
we're getting somewhere.
Come to barter, eh?
Come to banter, mate.
13,122, 13,123.
I hope he doesn't lose count.
Hey, Quentin, how you holding up?
Huh? What? Ah, where was I?
Oops.
13,100 and something?
Oh, let me start again. 1, 2, 3,
What are you doing there?
4, 5, 6. Yeah. Now that I've got a new coin, I'm recounting my collection, of course.
Could you not just
You've forgiven him
add
then?
one to the old figure?
No, I haven't. But I've accepted this token of his. Now, please, I've got some counting to do. 7, 8, 9.
He's surprisingly bad at counting
Skelly with a banana
for a
to
That's
treasure
what I
hunter.
got. Recently, I saw one try to eat fish bait.
So, what else do we want to upgrade? We're running out of things to upgrade. We've got Toya's Shadow Swap, which I'm still not sure of the utility of in general. And Pull Below, I can at least see some utility for, because as it says, you can pull people out of danger by hiding them, or you can prepare for an ambush, take down 2 guards at once. So, there's definitely utility there. So we'll upgrade John. He deserves it after that last mission. And now we should probably go chat with Marley again. Are we going to tell her what we've learned about the treasure?
What do you have for me, Navigator?
I think it's time we talk about what this journey is really about.
I don't follow.
I know about the Time Soul, Marley. And I know what you intend to do with it.
You were in my hold, despite my explicit orders.
Mordecai told me to. A secret message back in the Riddle Hole. His words were clear. He wants you to send the Time Soul back to the below.
I know very well what his final request was.
Do you? Because when you recounted it to me, you left out the most vital part.
Careful now, Navigator.
Yeah.
You intend to use the Time Soul. You're going against your captain's wish so you can
Yeah,
bring
of
him
course
back.
she is.
Listen well, Aethia Manicato. You presume to speak for the captain, but you are wrong, no matter what his message says. I know better than anyone what the captain would have wanted.
Do you though?
Think about the clues he left us. The relics. Put there to remind you when you should not use your power. The mirror, which makes the crew come to terms with their past. He's preparing us. Because if anyone uses the Time Soul, something terrible will happen.
Enough. Your concern is noted. Return to your post, and let us not speak of this again.
I'm not giving up yet, Marley.
As you will, Navigator. Now please, leave me be.
Sounds like Marley's got some
Fine.
thinking
Take your
to
time.
do.
We'll continue this at a later date. Well, not like I expected this to be easy. Back to business it is.
Yeah, nothing's easy in this world, I fear.
Hear the waves.
Especially not when there's a stubborn idiot like myself in charge. But now, let's have a card game with Toya, shall we?
Sure as the time. Aye, Toya.
You found the turtle pasture, I heard.
I did. Thanks very much for the heads up.
I admit I did not expect you to get past Estelle.
Now, in regards to that last starfish of yours,
John, how many times have we played cards?
I think we're getting close to 500 dozen times.
That's a lot.
5,978 times to be precise. Now, how often have you won?
Well, there was this one time where it was arguably still undecided.
You mean when Gael picked me up during the game and shot me into the sea?
Yeah.
And while I still don't know how you managed to bribe her, I think I was back in the lead again.
I mean, that would do
Until
it.
she, of course, returned and threw the entire table overboard.
So you agree that that game is still technically not finished?
If that's the conclusion you choose to draw from this, so be it. Let's play.
All right, let me just prepare a couple of things.
Prepare as you will.
Toya
Meet me
knows
at
we're
the
going to
table when
cheat.
you're ready.
Toya's ready for it.
Monkey. All right, Sir Reginald. I really need to win this time. Of course I've got a chance. There's just something I need to grab before playing. I've stored it in the balloon.
Well, down we go then.
I'm coming, Sir Reginald.
I thought we were just going to use Sir Reginald to distract, but maybe he's too much of a gentleman for that.
A couple of aces. I wonder how Toyar is going to play against this. Now you're turning all nighty on me, Reg. We've robbed and plundered plenty of Inquisition bases in our time, and you've never lost a scale over it.
Well, that's because they're bastards.
What do you mean those were all fair fights? We're immortal and all they have is funny-looking hats and masks. I knew you'd come around. Can I count on your assistance then? Good fish. Let's get back to Toya then.
Right, so Sir Reginald distracts, and then we pull out the aces.
Deaths have released me. All right, Toya. We're ready.
We? I was under the impression that I'm just facing you.
Just a manner of speech. Let's do this.
I'm dealing.
Nothing against that.
I'll bet 3 shells.
Let me go ahead and double that.
I'm out.
Much obliged, Toya.
Next hand.
So we're just going to bet until Sawyer meets our bet.
Me too.
Oh, there we go. We're both all in.
Ha! I got aces.
Aces again,
Yeah, looks like luck favors the fortunate, if that's how the saying goes.
It seems so. As I'm the one with 3 aces.
That's 5 aces then.
Damn it, Toyer. That was all I had. How do you keep beating me?
Well, the little scam you ran with Reginald didn't help your chances.
It didn't?
See, whenever Sir Reginald hands you those aces, you always bet everything, certain that you're going to win. Once your strategy became obvious, it was easily exploitable. Playing cards is war. You can't just win by focusing on one battle. You have to keep the entire conflict in mind.
Sound
as long
advice.
as you're my crewmate, I don't have to worry about such things. You'll keep an eye on the strategy, and I'll keep on rushing in, if that's all right with you.
It is, of course, old friend. Now, come back to me in a while. I will have the intestines ready for you.
Yeah, good guy Sawyer. He's happy to help us out. Even with the whole cheating at cards thing. And that's pretty much it for this time, I believe. We are going to grab the last soul energy we need next time to bring back our final crewmate. And we'll probably wrap up John's crew tale as well. But until then, thanks for watching, friends.